Also passed a constitutional amendment allowing judges to deny bail for violent felonies for criminals both foreign and domestic.
Donald Trump has given Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick his endorsement, saying Dan Patrick is a true MAGA Republican.
Protecting you and your family is important to me.
I am giving him my total endorsement.
Political ad paid for by Texans for Dan Patrick.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Don Huffines, Trump Republican, taxpayer watchdog. He's endorsed by every major conservative group, including Texas Right to Life, Gun Owners of America, and Charlie Kirk's Turning Point Action. Don Huffines stands with President Trump to enforce our immigration laws, eliminate benefits to illegal aliens, and stop woke DEI. Senator Ted Cruz endorsed Don Huffines because he knows Don Huffines will fight for Texas families.
This is Ted Cruz. I'm proud to support my friend Don Huffines for Texas Comptroller because he is 100% committed to rooting out the waste, fraud, and corruption that has plagued government for far too long. Don Huffines is a successful businessman and a true conservative leader you can count on to fight for you. If you want to stop the fraud, end the waste, and expose the corruption, vote for Don Huffines.
For Comptroller, Trump Republican Don Huffines.
Political ad paid for by the Don Huffines campaign.
News, weather, your information station. This is News Talk 710 KURV.
When the odds are against you, a force for justice will be there. When you need someone to defend you, when you need a champion, we will be that force. Day and night, my team is dedicated to fighting for you. Serving our community with offices throughout the valley. And if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. No other law firm in the valley works harder, reaches more people, and has more resources than the J. Gonzalez Law Firm. So if the unfortunate ever happens and you or someone you love is in an accident, call me, J. Gonzalez. The J. Gonzalez Law Firm, a force for justice.
There you go. Thank you, Freddie. Time is 9:23. The Sergio Show at News Talk 710 KQRV. We're at J. Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. HQ Edinburgh, we're at Jesse Gonzalez's office. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. We were talking off air about other violence south of the border. I know Jesse has made several trips south of the border. I want to start with something more positive, though, Jesse. I know we'll have a chance to talk about what's taking place in Mexico and all these beach resorts, touristy places. And I hope and pray that all U.S. tourists are good or okay, and all the violence stays on the streets. Team USA, Jesse, you're texting me. the guy got his teeth punched out, actually slapped by a hockey stick, right? This Wetko, I forget what his name is. And he's smiling, his tooth is half broken, his face is all bloody, his mouth is all bloody. That Wetko, that kid, because compared to us, he's a kid.
21 years old?
Yeah, he's the one who scored the winning goal.
Yeah.
As the hockey team, U.S. hockey.
Isn't that crazy?
Won the gold. First time since Lake Placid, 1980.
And I think his brother, who's also on the team, I think he's the one that scored the other winning goal against Sweden.
Okay.
And it was overtime, and they were saying, get out. And he goes, I'm not getting out. And he kept himself in and then scored the winning goal. I want to say it was his brother.
Yeah.
Maybe Freddie can fact check us here.
Yeah. Well, Freddie's not into the producer who's into hockey, Joe Salinas, is out this week.
Oh.
Freddie's into this. You and I are talking about ice soccer. Freddie's into soccer.
Yes.
Are you into soccer? Like
only once every 4 years when they do the World Cup.
The award.
Yeah. Is it every 4 or every 2?
I think it's every 4. Right, Freddie? It is every 4 that they do it. Kind of like
the Olympics.
Yeah. I think it's every 4. You had texted me, this is a real sport. This is the real game.
Yeah, I mean, when you're losing teeth and there's
Busted
blood
mouth,
and busted lips and...
Did you see the game? Did you see all of it?
You know, I saw most of it. I definitely saw the overtime win. But, you know, I remember, and it makes no sense. And I think I more or less know why I was watching. Because growing up here in the Valley back in 1980, I mean, what do we know about hockey, right?
Yeah.
And we don't. Yet there I was, 12 years old, by myself, watching Team USA play the Russians.
Oh, back in 1980.
Yeah, and those old TVs.
Yes,
and,
that's right.
And I remember watching it. I watched the entire game. And I still, it's still vivid in my head, you know, the whole "do you believe in miracles?"
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I could think of, Serge, it wasn't that I was a hockey fan, because I wasn't. It was probably the first hockey match I'd ever seen as a kid. And you know, when you're 12, your attention span as a kid is obviously not what it is when you're an adult. I mean, I couldn't even watch an entire football game, and I was into football. I understood football. I played football. But here I am watching an entire hockey game. And the only thing that I can think of is it was the storyline behind it. There were hostages at the time, right, in Iran. Yeah. There was a Cold War going on with Russia and the Soviet Union. And back in the day, more than ever, if you didn't hate the Soviet Union, then you really weren't an American, because, I mean, they stood for everything that we stood for, right? And I had such a deep hatred for Russia because of everything that was going on, that here we were playing, you know, the big bad wolf, you know, the evil Russians, right? And I just wanted us to beat Russia so badly. And we did. And so, you know, fast forward to yesterday, and we win the gold.
Yeah.
And it's been that long. And then I saw the movie Miracle on Ice. Mm-hmm. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Fantastic.
This
movie.
is going to be another movie. I remember the name Goudreau. I don't remember the name of the hockey player. My guess is that this young man, Goudreau, who lost his life to it was a drunk driver, took his life. He was on his bicycle, he and his brother. I think they were both killed. I don't know hockey. Please excuse me if you're a hockey fan. I'm just looking at it from the news report. But this young man, Goudreau, was killed. I guess he was supposed to be a member of the U.S. hockey team. Maybe he was a member of the U.S. hockey team. We knew a couple years back that he was going to be. Well, he gets killed. He and his brother, they're running about, a drunk takes them both out. So this is a movie script waiting to happen. With this kid, whatever his name, he got his teeth knocked out by that hockey stick. His teeth all broken, his bloody, busted lip. The way they win in overtime, and then afterwards, it's like, I'm not crying, you're crying. It's the whole team on the ice, and they go get Goudreau's babies, right? And they bring him, and they sit down with the babies, the American flag, all to take a team picture with Goudreau's babies, and of course the Goudreau's shirt.
I saw that.
That's a script. It's ready to go. That's going to be a movie here pretty soon. Jay Gonzalez, injury attorneys. We're back at HQ in Edinburgh. We're catching up to speed with some of the news. There's something else that was sports related. Is it true that the Chicago Bears are moving out?
Yeah, I mean,
Chicago.
There's talks that they're going to move to Indiana, and if that happens,
Indiana Bears.
Well, if it happens, I don't think they're going to be the Bears. I think it's going to be one of those, you know, instead of Tennessee Oilers, Tennessee Titans.
Let's see.
Instead of the Baltimore Colts, because they went from
that's
remember?
Right. The Colts.
It was the Ravens.
Then eventually the Ravens.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those deals where we've probably lost the Bears forever unless they expand and then Chicago gets a team again.
You know, I don't remember the evolution of that football. So the Colts it was Baltimore And then they went to Indianapolis?
Yes.
Right?
Baltimore Colts went to Indianapolis. They kept the name. And then when Baltimore came back, they became the Ravens. The Oilers became the Titans.
The Titans.
But then St. Louis, those were the Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
Now they're the Arizona Cardinals. So
that one didn't change.
So they kept it. You have the Oakland Raiders, who then became the LA Raiders, who are now the Las Vegas Raiders. They've kept the name.
They've been bouncing around for the past 30 years.
Yeah, and then the San Diego Chargers became the LA Chargers. And now the LA Rams. The LA Rams used to be in St. Louis.
That's
the
true.
St. Louis Rams.
Do they have any Rams in the hills in St. Louis? No, they don't.
The Cowboys used to be Kansas City.
What?
The Cowboys were a Kansas City team initially.
What was the name?
I want to say, that's a good question. I think they were the Texans, maybe not the Texans, but not the Cowboys. They were something else, but they were from Kansas City and they moved.
Now that you mentioned Texans, isn't this a second go around for the use of the name Texans?
Well, maybe they were the Texans. Maybe they were.
But what would they be? Why would they be the
in
Texans
Kansas City? Yeah, I don't know.
Unless the
That's a good
Dallas
question.
team was called Texans and they eventually became the Cowboys.
Huh.
We have to look
That's
that
a good
one up.
question.
Yeah. Freddie, you tell me what to do, brother. If you want to pay some bills, we can pay the commercials and come right on back with Jesse. Okay, all right. Time's 9:31. This is Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. We're with Jesse Gonzalez at J. Gonzalez Injury Attorneys HQ. Call 1-800-CAR CRASH. You sent me some AI videos that you generated.
Oh, that's right.
They were glorious. You should use that, dude. You could save a lot of money on all the advertising. Here's a short of it. Jesse sends me this video where if you guys saw Iron Man, like the original Iron Man, where he's in the caves in Afghanistan somewhere, and he's showing off some of his weapons to military contractors out in the desert somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's standing in front of the military and the contractors, and the bombs blow up behind him. All these missiles explode all behind him on the horizon. And then he spreads his arms open, you know. and of course, the wind comes and blows his hair and his suit and all that. And initially, he sent me his video where the explosions are behind him. He opens up his arms and there's no effect. And I said, hey, dude, this is not believable. It's like everything's blowing up behind you, but where's the wind blowing your hair? So he sends me another one.
And the glasses.
And then the glasses.
You're missing the sunglasses.
The Tony Stark glasses. Then the last one he sends me is like nuclear bombs behind me. Dude, you're radioactive now. That's completely. But AI could solve a lot of the like promotions and video and posts. I mean, just amazing where we are right now.
So that started because my friend was celebrating a birthday, and we have a chat, all my friends and I, and early in the morning, everyone's wishing him happy birthday. And I'm like, I've got to do something more than just happy birthday. I got to do something a little more dramatic.
Yeah.
So then that's when the idea came up with this Tony Stark and the bombs behind him, wishing him a happy birthday as, you know, here it is. And so I've got Grok, I've got Super Grok.
Yeah.
And in Super Grok, you have the option of animating stuff, creating videos. And I don't know what they call it. I think they call it, it's a special name, right? But you click on that, you upload a picture, and there you have it. You have a full-blown animated video of an image, of a still image.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I have fun with that once
There's
in a while.
another one that's, I guess, is on TikTok. Another one of those videos where you put in the picture, full body, and they're dancing around like Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, or Beat It, or something like that. You should put something like where Jay Gonzalez, put your picture on there.
Yeah.
You'd be dancing around like Michael Jackson, doing all the moves.
Yeah, they showed Donald Trump playing hockey
immediately after the U.S. won. Somebody must have been sitting on that.
Yeah.
But they turned that one out like quick. That was like
Fast.
30 minutes after the U.S. won.
Yeah.
They had Donald Trump on the ice, beating up on the Canadians, punching them in the face, and scoring the winning goal last night. Yeah. You mentioned Grok. You got the Super
Grok Imagine. That's what it's called. Grok Imagine. Yeah.
That's the one that you're paying for. You got the
$30 a month.
And of course, I mentioned it because It's from our neighbor, Elon Musk. You ever think, what would you ask Elon Musk if you saw him like at H-E-Butt or at a cafe in Brownsville? Say, hey, dude, what's going on? Hey, thanks. What's going on, Elon? What would you ask Elon if you bumped into him? I ask you because I have a collection of questions that I'm putting together in case I don't know, I'm at Starbase outside, the dude's walking around. They're mostly Mars related and moon base related.
I would ask him for a favor in terms of that, because whenever he says the things that he says about life on other planets or space travel and all that, and when he talks about AI, as smart as he is, that he's not the one that's originally coming up with that. He sits with incredibly intelligent people that he surrounds himself with that are in the weeds doing these things for hours and hours on end every day, cutting edge scientists at the top of their fields. And he sits with these people and he talks about these things and he learns these things with all these people that he surrounds with himself every day. And then he gets on the podium or he gets an interview with Rogan and he'll talk about these things that he learns about from all these incredibly brilliant people he surrounds. So imagine being part of those meetings when he's in those meetings. And now you're privy to all that information about AI, about rockets, and so I think it's just incredible to be almost a trillionaire and to say, I'm going to surround myself with the most brilliant people in the world and to be part of that, to be part of that environment. I mean, how would that change you as a person, Serge?
What was a favor you want to ask him, though?
That I want to be part of these meetings.
You just want to sit in?
I want to be in there, like, fly in the wall. I want to be taking notes. I want to be in that position to have cutting edge technology on a daily basis. Like, wow. How incredible would that be?
Yeah.
Because by the time he says it, it's secondhand information. I mean,
you said he's going to hit $1 trillion.
I mean, no different than our president, right? Our president surrounds himself with brilliant people, great people.
Who would you prefer to spend some time with, Elon Musk or Donald J. Trump? As far as meetings and...
I would say Trump, hands down.
I see.
Think about all the intelligent briefings that he gets, and all the information he gets about different things and stuff that obviously nobody's privy to other than him.
Are space aliens?
All our intelligence community.
Are space aliens real, Mr. President?
I mean, that's no different than Musk, right? Imagine those meetings. Incredible stuff.
Yeah. A few days back, you mentioned Donald Trump a few days back, former President Obama made some sort of flippant remark. Somebody asked him, hey, are aliens real? And he said, yeah, I haven't seen them, but yeah, they're real. And then President Trump last week, he ordered, his directive was to release, I guess to the military, release any documents, whatever, on knowledge so you have space aliens and things like that. I think he chided President Obama and said, no, you shouldn't be saying something like that. It's like classified.
It's classified stuff.
Yeah. You think they're sitting on information? You think little green men are real? Now, President Obama said, he actually said something that was intelligence related. He said they're not at Area 51. Well, they could be somewhere else. But he said, if we have green men, they're not at Area 51, that secretive place. Well, maybe they're under the White House or something. Yeah. I don't know. But what do you make of that? I mean, were little green men real? Yes? No?
So this brings up the Fermi principle, right? If there is intelligent life out there, then where are they? And that's what this incredible physicist, Italian physicist Fermi said. Where are they? I mean, they would have already appeared. We already have knowledge. There'd be concrete proof, and they're not. So I tend to agree with Fermi in that regard, that I think by now it'd be so blatantly obvious.
You mentioned a great intellect. I'm going to give you another one. Dana Lash. You know what she says about this? She says, when it comes to the neighborhood or our neighborhood in relations to the rest of space, we're ghetto. So we're the part of town where when you get off the freeway accidentally and you're driving through that dilapidated part of town with certain people standing on the corners and burnt vehicles and gutted buildings, that you raise the window, and you try to find an exit as quickly as possible to get out of there. Yeah, that earth is that, with all the violence and the wars and the misery and all the bad things going on, all the crazy Antifa, all the crazy things going on, that we're the bad neighborhood. And they're intelligent enough not to come here. They just kind of drive by. They don't want to come visit us. That's her theory on that.
Yeah.
Jay Gonzalez, injury attorney, is called 1-800-CAR-CRASH. Okay, now let's go to the stuff south of the border.
Yeah.
The place that was literally on fire on Friday. You have been there to that beach resort many times. Didn't you tell me you had one of your favorite resorts there?
Yeah.
Either it's nearby Manzanillo or the one that you went?
Yeah, so you fly into Puerto Vallarta, and 45 minutes from there, you go to the state of Nayarit. Punta Mita, Four Seasons has a hotel there. Incredible, beautiful, one of my favorites in Mexico. And I've been there at least 5-6 times. Not so much. I mean, I've been to Punta Mita twice, 2-3 times, but I've been to Puerto Vallarta about 6 times, that airport. Through those roads that were blocked off and, the explosions and the cars that are blown up and on fire.
That airport that was on social media where people were running through the hall, right? Because there was gunfire behind them. There's a nasty stuff. People just running for their lives inside the airport. That's the airport that you...
Now, that airport in Guadalajara, because my ex is from Guadalajara and she has family in Guadalajara, for 6 years prior to COVID, I mean, we were there 4, 5, 6 times a year. So I'm very familiar with that airport. Since COVID, I've been back through that airport, many times as a connection to other places in Mexico. Because, in Mexico, the connections are either through Mexico City or Guadalajara. Those are the hubs, more Mexico City than Guadalajara. And so when I saw those images, I'm very familiar with those areas. I've been there many, many times. And so, the idea that obviously I could have been there and, just by pure, fate, call it fate, luck, whatever. I wasn't. I was home with my kids. And I wake up in the morning and I'm going through my ex news feed. And that's where you get news like in real time, right? And it's like, wow.
Does this discourage you from going back anytime soon?
Well, Tijuana was also, lit up, right? The cars on fire and blockades and all that.
South of the border here in Reynosa.
Well, Tijuana's 30 minutes from San Diego, right? You land in Tijuana and you can drive to San Diego and it's 30 minutes away. The border wall is, as soon as you leave the airport, the border wall's right there. You see it. It's basically across the street. So I was just there last week. I went to Valle de Guadalupe to go and visit some wineries, some Mexican wineries. And I was there Wednesday. So this happens Sunday, just, a few days after. And again, call it providence, call it luck, call it fate. I mean, just glad that I wasn't there. But yeah, you just never know when these things are going to blow up. And it's really a shame because...
Is it a wake-up call, though? I'll have to take it back to that question.
I'm going to say this. I had plans to visit Mexico this week. And, they've been canceled. So...
Oh, you had plans, like in past tense. Had plans.
Yes, I had plans. I was going to be in Mexico City tonight. And, that obviously has changed because of what's going on. And it's really a shame. But, hopefully they can clean it up, maybe.
Jay Gonzalez, injury attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. We come back often on a Monday. Spend some time with Jesse here at the office. Thank you to Georgie. Thank you for the delicious cafe, hermano. I needed it this morning. I don't know what's wrong, man. I was really, really tired this morning. Maybe I worked too much this weekend. Did you feel it like I don't know what it was, man.
I have no idea. And I think it's interesting that you bring that up because sometimes I think things happen in the atmosphere, atmospheric changes or pressure. I don't know what.
Normally I wouldn't mention this, but today I was so weak, and I'm still trying to overcome that weakness.
Same.
I feel that fatigue.
100%. And normally I'm up 5:30 at the latest 6 in the morning, and today I didn't open my eyes till 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, man, it's late. But then am I so tired? Last night I went to bed like by 9:30 at night. It's not like I stayed up late. And so I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the weather change or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it's cold weather.
But caffeine always helps.
Oh, it does. Thank you, Georgie, again for the extra double shot. I failed to mention that the win by the U.S. men's hockey team, which was the first since Lake Placid 1980, the Miracle on Ice. I should have mentioned that the women's hockey team, they won gold. They beat Canada.
Isn't that crazy?
They showed Canada, right? It was
in
just
overtime.
También.
Yeah.
Right, in overtime. It was just a few months ago that Justin Trudeau, there was some sort of small tournament, and the U.S. and Canada in the end, and Canada beat the U.S. And there's Justin Trudeau out there crowing. He's like that big rooster outside the radio station wherever there. You're not going to steer our sport.
That's right.
You're not going to steer our country. Pushing back against Trump, wanted to take Canada. But now when it's real and it's the Olympics, the women's U.S. team beat Canada. The men's team beat Canada.
Yeah.
Part of the script for that movie coming up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because politically, it's not so much the Russians anymore. It's we're having issues with Canada, with the tariffs and this and that, and the give and take with Trump and Trudeau and all that. So there's that backstory, which made the game interesting. It's always about the storyline, right? I always say the sport is one thing, but what is the story behind the person competing? And so that made the game that much more interesting.
I gotta say, there's so much video of the hockey players in the Canadians, and so much grief and pain, and the look of defeat, and one of them with his head down on the railing, and I felt bad for these dudes. I mean, it could very easily have been us, but I felt bad for these guys.
Just recently, when they played in that tournament, the first 9 seconds there was 3 fights against Canada.
Yeah.
Think about it. First 9 seconds, 3 fights. So there's a lot of animosity there.
Yeah.
And I think Canada was ranked number 1 in the world. And I think the U.S. was either 3rd or 5th.
Yeah.
Probably more 5th than 3rd, but top 5. But Canada was ranked number 1. So they again, when we beat the Russians back in the day, Russia was ranked number 1. Soviets were ranked number 1. And we beat the number 1 ranked team in the world. So, not so much a miracle anymore because we've got professional players. Back then we did it with amateurs.
Yes, it was.
And that was a big deal.
College students back then.
College students being full-blown professionals that were the best at their game.
Yes, sir. That's an important point. Back then, the U.S. Team USA, was playing Soviet professional players.
That's right.
That's what made the Miracle on Ice even more poignant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Babylon Bee, the satirical website, showing a picture of the defeated Canadian hockey team, and saying, U.S. team, yet again, shows that communists still suck at hockey. Modern communists would be the Canadians. But most folks forget that the Miracle on Ice, do you believe in miracles? Beating the Soviets, the U.S. still had to play one more game.
That's right.
To win the gold.
They had to beat, I think, Sweden or something.
Finland or Sweden or something like that. And from the movie that you saw, because they said the famous quote, and I should know this is part of Americana and part of our national, I should know this as I know portions of the Constitution and our founding fathers. The coach for the U.S. team say, something to this effect, if you don't win this game, you'll take it to your effing grave. You'll take it to your effing grave. And that's all he had to tell him, get back on the ice and beat Finland or whoever it was.
Yeah.
In order to win the gold.
Yeah. And back then, they had to beat the Czech Republic. And I think they were the only team that had a chance at beating the Russians. So we had to get through that team and the Russians, and then obviously
get to the Soviets.
And then eventually beat, that other team.
Jay Gonzalez, injury attorneys call 1-800-CAR crash. I got your message, Freddie. Would that be the segment you need to clear inventory in about 3-4 minutes? I want to make sure to give Jesse plenty of time to talk about it. What's going on at the office? Muchachos, all the gang here. What's going on?
We're doing great. We're working on finishing the second phase of construction here for the headquarters. And once we do that, Serge, we're going to change locations now and again. Right now, we're in my personal office here in the second floor. But hopefully here in the next 2 months, there is a third floor here in this building that we may occupy. And then we're going to have at least 4 other areas that we can use for this show, which will make it nice. It'll give us some variety. It'll give us different places to kind of enjoy. So I'm looking forward to that.
Somebody was working on that third floor.
Yeah.
I say, I know it ain't raining outside. It sounded like rolling thunder.
That's right.
Guttural. Yeah. Lay down on that sofa. Hey, can you keep moving your equipment around? It sounds like real peaceful and very soothing. Rolling thunder. The stuff moving up there. So how much longer till you're done with all that?
I live in South McAllen. Obviously, this office is in it's in Edinburgh. Yeah. As north as you can get from South McAllen. And the idea is I wanted to create a place that's home away from home. And so a lot of what you see in this office is inspired by my house. And then I brought in some stuff that I picked up along the way in my travels. But everything here is designed so that I could live here if I wanted to. And so the noise that you hear upstairs, that is a professional suite that I have up there. And, sometimes I have lawyers that come down and that I collaborate with on certain cases. And rather than them staying at a local hotel, they could stay here. Sometimes I have cases where we're working late at night and we wouldn't have to leave because everything that you need is here. This is basically a home. And so when I designed this office, I said, here's my house. Now build me an office around my house.
You should Airbnb that thing, man. It's gorgeous. You should Airbnb every floor, man.
Yeah.
You have like different people. You can make a killing every weekend.
Well, this is Mexico City, Four Seasons. My personal office was inspired by the lobby at the Four Seasons in Mexico City. That's basically what I try to recreate with the marble and the wood and so forth.
Thanks for having us over again, Jesse. Have a wonderful week. Don't forget to vote. Don't forget to vote. Jay Gonzalez, injury attorneys. Call 1-800-CAR crash. The Sergio Show on 710 KURV. I want to say thank you, Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing for this hour of the program.
The Texas Comptroller is the chief financial officer of the world's 8th largest economy. Governor Abbott knows Kelly Hancock will keep